in the print media, in terms of posters and bills and banners and all that. I would like to point out that advertisements have to be there in our society so that people who want to serve society or people who want to contribute to the development of their countries or the world in general, they get known, they are approached, and then they contribute in whatever manner they can. Or the manufacturers or the producers or organizations who want to contribute. Contribute means you give to society and you take also. If you work in a landlord's farm, you contribute to the productivity of that landlord's farm. But to take the wages, you take your remuneration, you are paid for the work, and both contributing and taking wages, both these are very proper and very lifelike and very much justified. A writer writes a book, and that book happens to influence people positively, hundreds of thousands of people. They get a better perspective on life. They get better ideas, and they get helped. That is the contribution of such writers. And these writers, they get back in terms of royalty or in terms of felicitations or in terms of cash awards, prizes in return for their contributions. Very normal, very lifelike. This is how life runs. This is how society moves on. That you work and you get paid for that work. All right. You teach in a school, you get your salary, you sometimes help people, and then they give you some gift or they give you some appreciation or they write something in your favor. They talk about your prestige, and that is your reward. My idea is that advertisements are a must in a way because people in general come to know what things are available for their use, for their consumption, what services are there available so that they can avail themselves of the services and they can better their future, they can raise their standards of life, they can make their future. It's all very nice, praiseworthy, but I would like to draw the attention of the public, people in general, not only of India, not only the people of Calcutta from where I'm speaking, but people around the world, that advertisements have to be logical, advertisements have to be tasteful, advertisements have to be productive, advertisements should not eat into the vitals of life. Advertisements not should not be harmful to society, to individuals. They should not be made in such a way, presented in such a way that eat into our basics of life, that encourage us to be lying, to be dishonest, to exaggerate, to be claiming what is not justified. I remember one great essay by an American writer, and the title of that essay was Women's Business. And in that essay, the writer had focused on the efforts of women to join the world of business many decades after men had started their their hold on business. They had been holding, but many men came forward and many men became business people, industrialists, manufacturers, and they thrived. Women, after 6, 7 decades, maybe in the second, third decade of the 20th century, they started joining business. And one particular lady was named in that essay, Lydia E. Pinkham, and she started at home making certain things useful for families, and that also because of the necessity of earning some money for the family, because the husband had been crippled and he could not go to the job and he could not bring any income to the family. So Lydia, if income, the young wife of that person, had to take care of the family, including the crippled husband and their children. So she started, and she started in the name of women's welfare. She said that she was a woman, and the things that she made at home to be sold out to other women. And those things were of big use, great use. They were nourishing, and they were capable of taking care of the problems of women's diseases, problems, complaints, specific to women. For example, you have menses, and then you have scarcity of blood, you have tension, you get emotionally charged, and how to get these problems, you can say, tackled. For these, she had made preparations at home and she did. But later on, the writer mentioned that the other women who followed Lydia If and Lydia If herself, at the later stage of business career, they started they started getting mainly profit motivated. In the beginning, they would have profit, but marginal profit, or profit that would sustain their business as well as sustain their family life. But later on, in order to compete, in order to be highlighted, in order to be rich, in order to have so much for the future, and they started becoming greedy, perhaps as much greedy as men had been in the middle phase of their career as industrialists and business people. So things started losing the standard. Suppose a napkin that a woman would make for another woman or for the members of her own family, that would have quality. The napkin would be used for 1 or 2 years, and that would be all right. But later on, the quality of the making of the napkin, the quality was compromised. So the products that in the beginning commanded respect of the consumers, or got appreciation, or got talked about in positive terms for their containing quality and their being durable, these things disappeared, or disappeared to a great extent. And people started complaining that in business, people mostly they become greedy, they become profit minded. Excessive profit means you should take a profit of 15%, 20%, 25%, 30%, but then they started doubling, trebling their profit on the investment and labor. Now I'm coming back to my topic, malice towards none. That means I don't have any complaint against certain individuals I don't know. As uh, as a citizen of the world, of India and of the world by extension, I'm just making my views public, that about 90% of the advertisements, and this is what I don't say, so many people have uh, quoted in the newspapers and in the talk shows, and even in that essay, it was mentioned that 90% of the advertisements that claimed to be X were not exactly what they had been claimed to be. And they were, there were, you can say, spurious medicines or drugs or cocktails or things, and the claims were very high. But these preparations did not get certified by the consumers as being of that quality as had been claimed. So this is insensitive on the part of the advertisers, on the part of the advertisement slogan writers, means all the people who are in the advertisement industry, they share the profits, more or less. And those who invest, they share, they take the share maximum. and those who help them or assist them in terms of writing slogans, advertisement slogans, or the technical advices given, or other kinds of services are offered to the main people engaged in advertisements. They also get. But the point is that the claims are somewhat uh, exaggerated, and that is insensitivity. You can take numerous examples. People advertise about, suppose, no, they say that there should be no gender bias, there should be no complexes about colors of the skin, and see the advertisers. They say fair and lovely, or whatever. So many names are given that if your skin complexion is dark, you can have change it into fair complexion by using certain cosmetics, and that will promote your chances of getting a better partner in life. I mean, marital partner. It means what? That if your skin color is dark, you don't get a good partner, a matching partner. This should not happen. Uh, it is not the skin color that makes a human being good human being. Anybody having any color of their skin can be a good person. So a good person should be the match of another good person simply by applying the cosmetics or the, toning down the color of your skin that you don't like. You cannot promote your what you call chances of getting a good partner in life. Even if you get that is a cheating, because the effects of the makeup items cannot live longer, and later on you get exposed. You have to be what you are. Nature has made all human beings, maybe by world definition, ugly or handsome or beautiful, fair complexion, black complexion, or tan complexion, brown complexion. So all these people have to live, and they live according to their tastes, their likes, their capabilities, uh, and that is natural. That should happen, but that is not happening. So see the advertisement of a car, and then invariably you see that when the beautiful, you can say so-called beautiful, I don't consider a person beautiful because the nose is very pointed and complexion is this. Many people, not only me, a handsome is that handsome does. A beautiful person is that person who is honest, who is hardworking as much as that person can work, who can't cheat others, who is non-violent, who is peaceful, who is polite, who is courteous. That person is beautiful. That person is handsome. So calling people who are physically, you can say, very attractive, handsome, or ladies beautiful because the hair is thick and fair complexion she has, and she has ornaments on, she has beautiful dresses. No, no way, no way. The best dress is your quality, or the qualities altogether in combination. And these qualities of yours are your dress, are your ornaments, are your things that you should take pride on. Uh, you have uh, majority, overwhelming majority of advertisements insensitive, that in order to show to the consumers or to the people in society that now inhibitions have gone and family members treat one another on equal footing. The son is 20 years old and the mother is 49 years old or 50 years old, and the son calls the mother Yar. Yar means a slang, it's a slang word. Ya means somebody who is your intimate friend. And this word is not suitable to our culture, any culture, good culture, that your yards are the people of your age, and the people with whom you can share things that you can't share with your mother. You can't share, and that is why she is your mother. You can't share everything to your father. Means you cannot speak anything to your father. You have, because you are also going to be father one day, and you are also going to be mother one day if you are. a girl. These traditions altogether are not unscientific. These traditions are not altogether foolish, or you can say irrelevant. Uh, uh, Otherwise, why should we behave in school? Why should we behave in front of the principal? Why should we behave in front of the teachers? Why should the police superintendent, why should that person expect the deputy superintendent to behave, and he expecting his subordinates to behave? Because this is the tradition, and that is the way work is done. That is the way performance is done. When you go to a temple, you keep quiet. You don't start smoking in front of the image that you have come to worship. You have come to sit down in the holy precincts, and you are there to sing, or to sing silently, or just to meditate, just to confess, or just to seek blessings. If you believe that is why you have come, you come to a temple, you go to a church, you come to a church, you go to any place of worship of your faith, of your liking, because you have faith. You think that you're going there is going to help you. The God who is present in that form there, the God who is in the heaven or wherever in the skies, uh, His presence you feel there, and then you behave. You go to your farm, suppose, okay, even if your dresses are soiled, no problem, hands are soiled, no problem, because you have to get them soiled because you'll be working with your hands, with your limbs. But when you go to a church, you are neatly dressed, or your dress is clean, and you feel holy bodily, mentally, and that is when you have your focus on, you have your concentration. But you saw a man, you can say that he is a believer in God, but he doesn't believe in formality. So, okay, he believes in God, so he goes to a temple or to a church, and then he starts smoking and praying also. So, smoking and praying in a church don't go together, not all right. And the advertisement is there that you are in a temple, in a church, in a mosque, or in a synagogue, and you are not nicely dressed, properly dressed, in any dress, even with your shoes on, means you are dirtily dressed, or you are eating and you are paying. So, and the advertisement so that, well, see these people, they are progressive, they are liberated people, they are educated in modern ways. That prayers are done. Okay, words are spoken, words are uttered, prayers are done. Your presence is there, and that is done, whether you behave or you don't behave. In a courtroom, this is the tradition everywhere in the world, that you address the presiding judge or the judges, if the bench is constituted, you address them, and the lawyers, the advocates, they are also addressed in the proper manner. So systems, this is the meaning of system. A system is something that is a series of codes of conduct, and that is applicable to everyone. You see the enjoyment of the range that people have, and then you saw in the advertisement that how women, they are almost, you can say, undressed, or having no dresses on, and you exploit teenage girls. They are going to school, and the person who is doing the role of the school girl is 35 years old, 45 years old, and you give camera tricks, and you can say the dresses to such a person, and but the people know that she doesn't deserve to be dressed like that. You have advertisements, shoe shops, and there you have all the models, all the beautiful people, so-called beautiful people, are not the only buyers. You have ugly buyers also, if you call them ugly, black people, or black complexion people, or one tooth coming out of the mouth, and such a person. So all sorts of, you never get such people to be models, advertisers. You have school advertisements, see admissions time. So you have well-dressed girls, goggles, they have goggles on, and they are, you can say, what you call denting and painting done, hair do nicely done, and then they pose in a certain manner. Such students are not available in the real life. In the real life, Students have to have to be seen naturally dressed, naturally behaving. So advertisements are so much misleading. And then you have advertisements, suppose that seek to be what you call extremely delightful, or extremely, suppose you can say, easy, extremely facilitating people, or reflecting the uh, light mood of the people, and then you have jokes and all that. And these jokes are very salacious and all. You have innuendos, you have salacious jokes, you have double meaning, triple meaning, suppose words that you know that bad people would get the meaning that you want them to get. But people who are, uh, you can say, cultured, spiritualized, morally sound, they get pinched up. So advertisements all around the world uh, are selling things, and they say that what sells in the market, it is free sexuality. It is something that is attractive to the eyes, attractive to the body, and all the norms. During the COVID, we remember that distancing was so essential, that 6 feet or 4 feet or 7 feet distance to be maintained between two individuals. And you see people eating from the same plate in an advertisement, and they are supposed to be friends. They eat from the same plate. Their faces are almost, you can say, joined. The spoon is the same. One of the two eats with the spoon, and the same spoon is used to feed the other person. And the advertisement shows that, well, in friendship it doesn't matter, but this is infectious. This is not all right. This is not good. You advertise the teenagers, and they are carefree. They come out shoes on, and then they go to bed, and you praise them because their faces are very nice, their health is very robust, they look very attractive, and they go to bed with shoes on. Or they don't have any sense of sanitization, and they don't have any sense of, you can say, greeting their parents and all that, or just looking at their parents. They make faces, they squint their eyes, and you present them as they are the modern people, very smart people, because you take these pictures to be models for your advertisements from the films. And you know, in the films, 80-90% of the people, they are immoral. They commit all kinds of crimes, they cheat people, they don't have any honor for honored relationship also. They can abuse their mothers, sisters, and they can then apologize. And the apologies are also accepted because they have the money. They can buy everything. They can buy favor, they can buy leniency, they can buy the courts, they can buy the police, they can buy even their fans. This is what is happening. You have, suppose these days, online shopping and all that. So the pictures that you have on the apps, these pictures are so nice, so attractive. And the people also are getting lazy. They don't want to go to the shops. They don't want to go to the markets. Even there, you have only ads. Film people and sports people, those who earn lots of money, and they are the icons. They are the models. You don't have a farmer. You don't have a good farmer. You also may like to buy something in the market, but you don't have any picture of a farmer. You don't have any picture of a housewife. You don't have any picture of an old gentleman. All young people having guns slinging across their shoulders, or cigarettes on, or drinking from the bottle itself, Coca-Cola or this whatever, all for, you can say, what you call meaty, all meaty things, shady things. And young people, no, in young age you want to be free, you want to do everything, but the same thing doesn't happen when you advance in age, because gradually you become staid, you become slow, and then you, when you review, then you say how foolish those actions were, those activities were. You can say, well, So these activities, once upon a time, were all right, matching the age, but no. And good things have to be continued from childhood to the old age before you breathe your last. You can't say that, well, you will wine and dine and humanize in the youth because it is that time. If you do that, you spoil your youth. If you make such advertisements to what you call stimulate people, to titillate people to be like that, then they spoil their youth. Drinking alcohol is not good. That doesn't make you a manly man. Smoking cigarette is not all right, or carrying guns not all right. Better uh, tell them to carry tools that we make use of in the garden, tools that we make use in our study, good things, but bombs. So a very, you can say, virile person, a bold person. He has a bomb in one hand, revolver in the other, and he just smiles, and he is an icon to the film-going people. And you praise them, you pay them for the interviews, and there are people, teachers or engineers, honest doctors, they work so hard and they don't earn even 1,000th of the earnings that these people have. Where our society is going to, where our civilization is going to, humanity is in the danger of being eclipsed, almost eclipsed, because you don't have fellow feeling, you don't have empathy, you don't have faith in one another. You travel in the plane and everybody is silent, as if every other person is an enemy. You look at him or her with suspicion. You don't speak. You don't smile. In the trains also, the same thing happening. You have crowds everywhere, and people are not certain of their safe journey because you saw the films and you saw the advertisements that you should not take anything offered to you as an edible because that person may be, everybody is a thief, everybody is you can say a cheat, everybody is bad. Why? Because some people only are bad, and these people, they commit crimes, they got scot-free, they get scot-free, they don't get punished. The result is that society is not secure. You never travel with peace in mind. You never travel through the thrills that you feel because everything is uncertain. This moment, a person behaves with you as a good friend, and maybe 10 minutes after, he comes out as a robber. He starts abusing you before he robs you in the train or at the railway stations. So advertisements, you can say, mostly they move around celebrity. The things that arouse sex feelings, these things are foregrounded. The misleading slogans are made. Language actually is distorted. The spellings of words are, you can, are not used properly, just to foreground that, well, you are innovative. For iconic. So iconic, ICO, iconic, NIC, but in many places in the hoardings and all that, you see ICONIQ, iconic. This is telling the children who have not mastered the language. When they see that in their book, they had the spelling ICONIC, and there they see ICONIQ, because Q also gives you co sound in a way, quick, quick. So co, quick, QUICK. So it is because of UI it is quick, but co is there. Or you say unique, UNIQUE. It is not UNIK, but spelling is UNIQUE, unique, and you restore. I remember one essay by Jonathan Swift, and the essay's title was On Style. And he talked about the distortions in spellings, and in so many places in literary texts that get written by so-called modern fashionable writers of that time. And Jonathan Swift said that looking at the spellings of many words, you may say Shakespeare would have consternation in his grave. You have RAPE, R-E-P, rape, in short written for representative. You have fundamentals of physics and you say fundas. So shortening, or you can say just trimming and chopping of the legs of words, sometimes the torso of the words. These things are done to prove that these doers or these innovators are stylish people, intelligent people, but they harm the language. They harm society in many ways. We have advertisements of dresses and fashions change, and fashions should change. But fashions are for comfort, for dignity, for your satisfaction. And you have bold heroines in the films, and they don't have any dress, and they are the bold heroines. The bolder you are, the more you are paid. The more of a ruffian you look as a villain, the more you are paid, because villains are made. Villains are made through strategies, through devices, and these villains on the screen become the prototype of the real villains. They speak the same language, they dress the same way, because they know how much scare these villains had, you can say, spread across the audience. What they see in the films, even Osama bin Laden, the head of the terrorists, once upon a time, when that 9/11 happened there in America, the Twin Towers got destroyed, razed, and all that. So even this was reported at that time that these terrorists, they are specialists, they had learned a lot from the Hollywood films that had been made to scare or just to sensationalize or just to tell the world that, well, they can do anything, miraculous things. They can touch the sky, they can raise the buildings, they can get the things destroyed that had been made in 5 years in 2 minutes. Uh, just to show that, well, life is changing, people's intelligence changing, but should our intelligence change for the worse, for the destruction? Perhaps not. We have ads that the grandson addresses the grandfather in a very vulgar way, and that vulgarity is taken as a fronting thing, as a fronted thing, that this grandson is not traditional. He doesn't believe in traditional greeting, traditional behaving, and he is ultra modern. And the grandfather is also very happy. I must mention these things that I have observed in society, that girlfriend and boyfriend, no, okay, friends. So friends are all friends. A girl is your friend, she is your friend. A boy is your friend, and he's a friend. So why special girlfriends and boyfriends at the age of 4? And the father is very happy. The father is the gatekeeper at an office, and he tells another gatekeeper that he's very happy that his son, who studies in class 3, has a girlfriend. And another person is also very happy that his daughter, who studies in class 2, has a boyfriend. See, this friendship is a very nice thing, but this is taken as a fashion, that your boy, at the age of 6, 7, he's so smart that he can persuade a girl to be his friend and to tell her that, well, they would grow up and then they would marry, or they would start getting into that immature sort of love right at that age. All these things. And then you have, see, the quality of papers, the books and all that. A book is very bad. It will destroy the mind and heart of the readers, but that book is uh, advertised in such an attractive manner. And they say that the binding of a book, so the binding so nice, but the content is so bad. You you hire some people to make designs for the stage, and what happens on the stage, the real actions on the stage are so bogus, so bad, but the get-up is so nice. Everywhere we see that advertisements, 80% are insensitive to our culture, our spirituality, our sense of decency. And decency is something, that is why it has been honored. Culture, you say, why do you differentiate between a A rough person and a cultured person. A cultured person is tolerant, so we have to be tolerant. We have to wait for our turns. We can't be aggressive. And simply because you are not aggressive, you are a fool, not educated. Because education has been redefined these days. The more you cheat, the more educated you are, whether you have certificate or not. If you have a certificate, if you have qualities of writing very well, speaking very well, not cheating, being content with whatever you earn, and being content with whatever you have, you are not educated, you are not ambitious. And advertisements are there and they provoke you that be ambitious, over ambitious. And there is one slogan in Hindi for advertisements, many, ye dil mange more, ye dil mange more. Ye dil mange more means that you have one watch on the left wrist and you want another. You want five watches, you can say, up your arm. And you want, you have a bungalow, you want 510. And you are rich and dil mange more. You have a girlfriend and then you want 20 girlfriends. So higher the number of your girlfriends, the more important you become. Higher the number of cars you have, you become more important. And these people are, you can say, worshipped. These people are glorified. They are taken to studios, they are taken to places, they are given regards. And a common person, really gentle, really constructive for his family, for his society, for the world. And such people, they are ignored, they are even silenced. They don't have any values. They are not allowed to live as if they are free citizens of this world. So my appeal to all the people in the world that let advertisements be speaking of the contents that they are on behalf of. Let a model speak out the truth about the product that he or she models. Uh, Otherwise, a bit of exaggeration, okay, can be tolerated. But when you have not even 1% quality and you are talking about that product having 100% quality, no, everybody says you go to vegetable market and there is a placard written uh, pure organic, means the brinjals that you buy for 50 rupees, on the stall where you have this placard that purely organic, you have 135 rupees. And you don't have any available process of testing the quality, that how does a product having organic, you can say, farming process better. But simply they advertise and people believe you don't have, and this is the pure. They talk about refined oil or this pure, 100% pure, 100% pure, 0% maida, 100% atta, whatever. And when the tests are made, then things are different. During the festivals in India, when sweets are much in demand or milk is much in demand, they show on the television for 2 3 days that beware of these manufacturers. They sell, you can say, what you call spurious milk, and sweets are very dangerous. And after some time, they take money and then they just disappear. And these people, they are caught, they are arrested, they are detained for some time. And again, the next year, you have more people doing such business, means selling or making things that are extremely harmful to health. But these people, they are caught, they are detained, they are released, and they go on making house after house, buying house after house, because they make quick money. And no remedy is given to the common people. Arrests and detentions are only for the sake of show. And see the colors of these, see the looks of these sweets displayed on the counters. So everywhere, in all departments of life, society is the base. And whether it is bureaucrats or police people or doctors, engineers, lawyers, everywhere there is a competition that who can cheat more can be called smarter. And it doesn't matter who believes in Gandhian theory, Gandhian philosophy, Tolstoyan philosophy, Buddha's philosophy of contentment. No, nobody. Means the more you have, the more you want. And there is no check on that. You always go on wanting more and more. You always go on doing anything to have more and more. And that is how our society is getting hellish. Darkness is spreading, and whatever light patches are there somewhere to be seen, these are shrinking and disappearing. I would like to sum up with these words of mine that advertisers, people in business, people in all walks of life, please be honest to yourself. Please contribute to society and expect return from society. Serve yourself, your family, your country, in the whole world, and then get served. And that is the real joy. That is the real reward. Otherwise, your so many houses, your so many bungalows, your so many cars, your so many watches, your so many ornaments, they won't give you satisfaction. They won't satisfy your heart that you are good people. So that's all. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.